Founded by Tootie Bland and her late husband Stephen, Road to the Horse has grown beyond what they or anyone else involved in its humble beginnings could have ever dreamed. In its 8th year, this unique competition brings together 3 of the world's top trainers and clinicians, where over 2 days they will gentle a horse in adjacent round pens, while thousands of fans relish every moment. Combining education and entertainment, Road to the Horse is truly a one-of-a-kind event. And this year's show has reached stratospheric heights in the horse world, pitting 3 of the greatest clinicians against one another: Cliniton Anderson, Pat Parelli, and Chris Cox.
It's really the only competition that puts people that teach people for a living in some sort of a competition setting. You know what I mean? I'm one of the very few that actually compete in other endeavors as well. Okay, I compete in reining classes and cow horse classes. Very few people that are clinicians that teach people for a living actually compete. So this is a very unique event where people that teach for a living have a chance to compete against each other and, you know, showcase their style and their techniques, and really, you know, the crowd is ultimately the judges in the end. You know what I mean? You certainly have judges that judge the winner, but, you know, when I'm trying to be in this event, I've got 8,000 people that really I'm trying to impress, because those 8,000 people are going to go out and talk to 5 people each. You know, those 5 judges, they're going to influence 50 people next week. You know, those 8,000 people are going to influence a lot of people.
This is something that's been, was really actually a pretty hard decision for us to make on not only my part, but my team's part, because we've worked really hard over the years to put principles before purpose, put the relationship first with horses, and that's our message, is to help people using love, language, and leadership, and so they can to inspire, empower, and educate them with their horses. And one of the things that oftentimes happens in a competition, it brings out the predator in the person. They care about winning. But I see this as a forum to display an art form. And this is something that, you know, has been shared with me by Tom Dorrance, Ronnie Willis, and Ray Hunt on how to do something with a young horse and for him, and not to him.
The things I like about it is that you can come here and display your talents, and it doesn't matter about your marketing history or your, you know, king of the microphone. It's coming here. It's putting you, you know, you're on the stage, and you got judges. You're being judged. It's a whole different deal because you're being judged. It's just not what you think about yourself. It's what the other professional horsemen that got that pencil and pad think about you.
With the stands filled to capacity here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee's Miller Coliseum, this year's competition contains a level of excitement and electricity that it's never seen before. And according to Cliniton Anderson, you'll never see again.
You're never going to get 3 people at this level to compete in the arena ever again. This is historic. I'll guarantee you, there's only going to be 1 person happy in this event, and there's going to be 2 people that aren't happy. It doesn't matter which way you look at it. One guy's going to go home smiling from ear to ear, and the other 2 are going to go home not real happy. But the fans are really the ones that are going to win out of this deal, because they're going to get to see 3 different techniques, 3 different styles, and 3 different horsemen perform live in an event that's can potentially be dangerous at times. It can be unpredictable. It can be thrilling. It's kind of like a NASCAR with hair. You know what I mean? Is that you never know what to do. You know, let's face it, we all like watching NASCAR when they crash. It's kind of boring when they're just going around and around. You know what I mean? So you got that excitement level of Road to the Horse.
After they each pick their horse out of the 4-6 Ranches Remuda, they quickly prepare for day 1 in the round pens. With different techniques and philosophies, the competitors begin what they hope will blossom into a solid relationship with their horse. As the clocks tick, they know they must move quickly, but not too fast. They each use different methods to get there. So as day 1 comes to a close, it's difficult to say who has the upper hand. As the clock ticks down, Chris Cox makes the audience nervous. Wanting to utilize every second of this 2 hours in the round pen, he sprints out just before the buzzer sounds, risking disqualification.
Yeah, you know, my colt was picked him pretty much to be that way. He was a little bit worse than I thought he was as far as being a little more skittish. I wanted him to not be as as quiet. He stood off from everybody else, and when I was in the back pen, he'd move his hand, he'd kind of jump away and fly to the back corner. But building that trust with him, I think I've got that established. I'm working on that. Still have a lot of work to do, but I believe that I'm getting some trust going on, some foundation, and I got to build that foundation to get me through the rest of the day.
Well, you know, I feel really good because, first of all, I think a lot of people look at that horse and think he's an easy horse. But, you know, some people can drive any horse wild, and most people have no idea how Tom Dorrance could make any horse look easy. And going around those horses, but inside of every horse, there's a wild horse, and inside every wild horse there's a gentle one. So the idea is to bring the gentle out and allow that wildness and that sense of self-preservation to not have to exhibit itself. And that's all. He just got scared there out of his right eye, so I'm going to prepare him a little more on this side here and get him to where he's more confident with me.
Overall, I was real happy with the horse. He definitely is the horse that everybody said he was. You know, he's definitely very athletic, and all the wranglers said he was. But he's also a bit of a pill too. You know, he's very reactive, and he's got a little bit of, you know, I hate you in him. But I think he's going to come round. You know what I mean? As long as you handle him the right way, you're not too aggressive. I think he's going to settle down. He's definitely going to have enough stamina, and that's why I picked him. He's not going to shut down on me like the last colt from the last time. But we just got to control that energy. But you know what? It's anybody's game. You can go from a hero to a zero pretty quick in this business.
The competitors are given 2.5 hours the second day. And if they don't show a lot of progress here, there will be no chance of leaving Tennessee a hero. All three hope to have their horse under saddle and riding by the end of this session. They also want to accustom their horse to all sorts of stimulus, because they have no idea what to expect in the final round's obstacle course. Both Cliniton Anderson and Chris Cox get their horse to accept a bit. Pat Parelli chooses to use his natural horsemanship technique. There are some rough spots for them all. But by the end of day 2, each trainer seems to have finally won over their horse, and a bunch of new fans. In the final round, the clinicians and their horse must perform a predetermined list of maneuvers in the arena, and then negotiate an obstacle course littered with hidden surprises. And if any time remains, they can show off in the freestyle portion. First up, Cliniton Anderson and Fletch's Career. Then it's Chris Cox and Perfect Performance. And finally, Pat Parelli, A Whiskey. Unlike a horse show, these three will be judged on not only his final performance, but the means to the end result. The judges tabulate, and all three are brought into the arena. Chris Cox of Mineral Wells, Texas wins his unprecedented third Road to the Horse title. Chris Cox's horse, the aptly named Perfect Performance, also wins the Traveler Award. Presented by the American Quarter Horse Association, the Traveler Award will be given to Perfect Performance's breeder, the 4-6's Ranch.